Hello Artbox friends, and welcome back to Jenna Gets Creative. Today we are going to be doing a no-box Artbox, and we are doing SketchBox, June 2022. As always, I am going to aim more for the premium side of the box, but I will talk about what was in both tiers. Let's get into it. As you can see, this is a pencil-heavy box. I have 14 colored pencils standing in for 2 different brands. I have a paintbrush, I have a solvent, and I have some cotton watercolor paper. The basic box only has 7 pencils in total from 2 different brands, but otherwise was pretty much the same box. Let's go! So, what is the No Box Artbox challenge, you may be wondering? Well, it's a challenge that I introduced to YouTube back in 2018. The idea is that you recreate the experience of an art supply subscription box without actually getting it, and there are so many reasons to do this challenge. Maybe you sincerely can't afford subscription services right now, or you're already subscribed to Company A and you want to try out Company B, but you can't afford both. Maybe you're looking for some inspiration, you're trying to get through art block, you want to use that awkward supply at the back of your drawer that you don't ever actually go for, and you've seen a box that used it. Maybe, like me, when I started this challenge, you've just discovered art supply subscription boxes, you realized that you are late to the game, and there are several years of boxes that you've missed that you want to try. Or maybe you're in the situation I'm in right now, continuing this challenge even though I'm not consistently subscribed to any particular box because I have too many supplies and not enough cash. But I still love the boxes and I still want to do these challenges, so what's a girl to do, right? If you want to try the No Box Artbox challenge, there are 3 simple steps. Step 1, pick any art or craft supply subscription box service out there, pick a month that already shipped, and look up the contents. Step 2, match the supplies in the box using items you already own. Do not go shopping specifically to fulfill a box, that would be cheating. The point is to use what you've already got on hand. You are allowed to use exact matches as long as you're not using this challenge to re-experience a box you actually got in the past. If that's the case, that is the one exception where you do absolutely have to use something different, the next closest match in your collection, if at all possible. Step 3, make art. Try to stick to only the items you've matched for the box, and if the original box had a prompt or a theme, try to stick to that as well. Only add missing essentials such as a pencil or a piece of paper. If you do try the No Box Artbox challenge, go ahead and share anywhere on social media using the hashtag NoBoxArtbox so that we can all see it, share it, give you some compliments and encouragement. And if you do a YouTube video, feel free to let me know and send me a link so that I can add your video to the master playlist for this challenge. You don't have to do this particular box or any of the boxes that I have done in the past. You can do this challenge for absolutely any art or craft supply subscription box you can think of, any month that they have ever done. Or if you want to even twist this around and try to apply it to a different type of subscription service, that's cool too. Go for it. As per usual with all of my art boxes, real or simulated like this, I will be running through everything that was in the box, and I will be giving you the MSRP or RRP price that would be on the menu card in the box. In the description down below, you will find that converted to other currencies. You'll find a description of the products, and you will find where I've gone ahead and looked up the price on major online retailers so that we can compare the MSRP total of the box and the shopping total of the box to what you actually paid if you subscribe to this box, depending on where you're subscribing from and how long you're subscribing for. I do all of my pricing in US dollars, Canadian dollars, and pounds sterling. So this box, SketchBox, that's an American company, the MSRP on the card will be US dollars, and I have converted that to CAD and GBP. And as usual, my first place to look for pricing for sale prices for all of these items is Blick for the US, Curry's for Canada, and Jackson's for the UK. Some of these items were hard to find for the UK, and we're just going with the converted MSRP. Pretty much everything I was able to find in the US and in Canada. In the US, everything is available at Blick, and in Canada, if you couldn't find it at Curry's, you could probably find it at Wallack's or a above ground. Both boxes received a custom 4x6 inch pad of cotton cold press watercolor paper, branded SketchBox, privately labeled. Interesting that they're doing that now. If you got the basic box, yours only had 12 sheets, whereas if you got the premium box, yours had 15. I have seen the menu card for the premium box, and I know that theirs were valued at $12.99, so I'm estimating the slightly smaller pad for the basic box is $9.99. And that is 100% cotton cold press watercolor paper in 4x6 inches. To replace that, of course, I'm using a 100% cotton paper that is cold pressed, so I'm using my B Paper Company watercolor paper, and I haven't found a good replacement for it yet, which is unfortunate because they were out of stock for a very, very long time. The company was sold, and I have heard that not only is what's available now on Amazon way more expensive, like 5 times more expensive, it's not the same quality paper. So if you know of a really good, really cheap, ready-cut cotton watercolor paper that I can get in Canada, let me know down below. Both tiers got a bottle of Meltz Color Pencil Blender by Holbein. This is a 35 milliliter bottle of water-based solvent, and you use it to turn your pencils, or basically anything else really, into watercolor. Get a little on your brush, go over your colored part on the paper, and it does dissolve a bit and blend together. MSRP is $8.85 US, and you do not get a deal at Blick, but based on the conversion, you actually get an excellent deal at Wallack's, so Canadians, you have the deal. Since it's water-based, I am going to assume that this is going to be something similar to traditional odorless mineral spirits. Odorless mineral spirits are the artist version of paint thinner. It's odorless so that you don't, get a headache, that kind of stuff while you're using it. It is still somewhat dangerous to use. They do recommend using it in a well-ventilated area. Crappy camera audio interruption to point out that this down here, the smooth blend, is the result you want with this technique, and the birds for waves up here is clearly not. The reason is I am not being patient with this piece. I've only been working on this for about 2 hours, and realistically this background should take 8, but I didn't upload for a week when I should have. So, past Jenna, carry on with the voiceover. I will be using Gamsol by Gamblin. If you don't have access to anything like that though, a good alternative is any sort of alcohol that is commonly used in art. So if you have alcohol markers, you could grab your colorless blender pen, or you could go into the medicine cabinet, head down to the pharmacy, and grab isopropyl rubbing alcohol. For the pencils, both tiers got a custom collection of Derwent Chromaflow pencils. These are the latest line of colored pencils from Derwent. They are an oil-based core. I believe these pencils are actually more of a traditional pencil diameter and not the really thick lead diameters that Derwent normally sells. If you got the basic tier, you got 6 pencils, and if you got to the premium tier, you got 12 pencils. This is a custom color set. You're not going to get exactly the same color set anywhere else, but the regular 12 pencil pack of Chromaflow pencils currently has an MSRP of $24.99 US. So for the premium customers with their 12 pencils, that is a value of $24.99 added to the box. And for the basic tier with half of that with 6 pencils, that is a value of $12.50 added to the box. To replicate this, I just looked really hard at a picture of the 12 pencils that were sent to the premium customers. I don't know the color names that were actually sent, so I just kind of matched as close as possible to the picture of the leads with my Faber-Castell Polychromos pencils. For the full 12 range, I am using cadmium yellow, dark chrome yellow, dark cadmium orange, middle cadmium red, grass green, permanent green olive, violet, indanthrine blue, middle phthalo blue, light cobalt turquoise, cold gray 3, and black. Basic customers got 1 additional pencil. That is the Faber-Castell Grip Eco Pencil. These are the triangular shaped barrels with the little grippy dots. They are sold in the red packaging, which means they're the lowest tier quality. They're meant for kids and crafters. There's no light fastness promises on that at all. Everybody in the basic tier got the color burnt ochre, and that has an MSRP of 58 cents when you do the math on the packs. Premium customers, instead of that, received two Holbein colored pencils. Those have an MSRP of $3.95 US each for a combined price of $7.90, obviously much more expensive. I am, once again, using my Faber-Castell Polychromos pencils. Everybody got Jaune Brilliant and Pink. Jaune Brilliant is a very nice, light, peachy, fleshy kind of tone, so I am using light flesh, and pink is just your very basic light, medium, very warm pink, so I am using Pink Madder Lake. And finally, for the paintbrushes, everybody got a Princeton round brush in size 2. Basic tier, the best I can tell is that it is the real value in the yellow handle, and that is the camel hair watercolor brush. Multi-purpose brush, actually. Those, if you do the math on the packs, because they are not sold individually, have an MSRP of $1.75 each. For the premium box, everybody got a Princeton Snap White Taklon brush. That has an MSRP of $3.40, according to the premium card I saw a photo of, which is odd because everywhere I've been able to find it on American retailers, it's at least $1 more than that, and even at sale price at Blick, it's $4.37. Not sure what's up there. When you do the conversion to other currencies, everybody else is actually getting a deal at stores, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe the American retailers just haven't caught up with a recent price change. In its place, kind of going more on the basic end here because I don't have very many size 2 rounds. I am using a Curry's 2400 series in a size 2 round. This is just one of their basic store brand watercolor brushes. I think it's a student quality brush. They're really good brushes. I like them. I use them a lot. So it's been a very long time since I've used any sort of solvent on non-watercolor pencils. I did recently use my isopropyl alcohol on Inktense. I'll try to remember to link that video, but it shouldn't be hard to find if you go back in my video catalog. But it's been at least 2 years since I've actually used the Gamsol. The trick when you are using solvents like this, you want to have a lot of pigment on the page, you want to do a bunch of layering, and then you want to use just enough to wet the brush. You don't want to use too much of it. And in the case of the Gamsol or any sort of odorless mineral spirit like that, where it's not something you want to be breathing in, you want to take what you're going to use, put it in a container that has a lid, so that in between using it, you can put a lid on it. Artists who use it all the time, they'll get the food storage containers that have the clamp down lids that have a rubber seal in it. They'll use that. I know Lisa Clow from Lockwood Fine Art uses that. For the isopropyl alcohol, honestly, that stuff, if you leave it out long enough, it's going to evaporate into the air and you're not going to have to worry about it anyway. But also for that reason, it would be a good idea to pour just what you're going to use into another vessel and put the cap back on the bottle immediately. In the comments down below, I'm really curious how many of you use solvents with your colored pencils, with your non-water soluble colored pencils. If you do, is it something you always do, or is it just a trick you use when you want a particular effect? I honestly, now that I'm going back down to 1 video a week, especially coming into the fall when I get a good schedule set up and I maybe get more into a routine, I would really like to get back into doing detailed colored pencil portraits, that kind of thing. And then I would be using the solvents a whole lot more because it does make the work go faster, especially on backgrounds. Let me know. Really curious. And if you got this box for real, I want to know, what are those Derwent Chromaflow pencils like? What are the Holbein pencils like? And if you got the basic tier box, what do you think of that Faber-Castell? Because normally when you see people using Faber-Castell products online, they're using the top tier, and that is the bottom tier, that one. So also really curious. I live in Canada. We don't get those as school supplies. That's not our brand. I've got a collab coming up that you should definitely come back and check out. But in the meantime, check out more of the No Box Artbox challenge or this other secret video I have put up here on screen. Bye guys!